Welcome back in. When it comes to movies, some of us like action and adventure. Others like, say, Mickey, they love a good rom-com.
But for some, there is a fascination among people with a movie like Final Destination. The 6th installment in that series has just come out in theaters.
And in case you're not familiar, the plot always involves people dying in freak accidents. So what does it say, if anything, about the psyche of those who enjoy seeing that? And we're not judging here. UAB psychologist Dr. Josh Klapow, Tony Kurre, join us now from the Kurre and Klapow Show.
Number one at the box office.
I know.
So
yeah.
How do you feel about those movies?
I absolutely hate it. It's a moral thing for me. I mean, I feel like
that's okay.
I just try to think to myself, is the devil laughing right now? Is he smiling, going, because God gave me my life.
Yeah.
And to sit there and throw it away, and I realized, listen, I know it's a movie.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I saw a beheading, a real beheading, on a screen several years ago from a friend of mine at work, and he didn't tell me he was going to play it for me, and it affected my life, and it was for real.
That would be traumatizing.
And it traumatized me to the point where I still think about it. I can only imagine what I'd be doing for 2.5 hours watching a movie about people
But
dying.
Apparently people do, because if you say it's number one.
They love it.
We've been watching horror movies forever, right? And this is different, and we were talking about that before we came into this segment, that what's fundamentally changed is now we can be privy to and see things happening in real time that are real. Whereas a movie like this, we know it's a movie, but there's psychologically, I believe there's much more of an overlap now, because you see things in movies like this and you're like, oh yeah, that kind of happened to this real person that I really saw. And that heightens, for some people, it heightens the psychological distress. For others, they separate it.
Well, the difference between that and horror movies too is in a horror movie you have a common villain. You have someone, you have a Jason, you have someone that you're rooting against. Or
And horror
maybe
movies can sometimes be very cheeky, very,
silly almost.
Yeah, silly. And so it doesn't really affect you.
Well, and I think that's the way they kind of promoted this movie. I mean, it was it was kind of promoted. The guy drops the glass on the floor and he steps on the glass. The lawnmower runs him over. She's screaming. It was people were actually laughing about it in the movie theater.
At the same time, and I'm sure some people say, "Oh, you're being hypocritical. You're a news station. You show people dying." We really don't. We have a policy where we're going to stop the video before we actually see something too graphic, but we do warn you ahead of time as well. But my question would be: is there some people though? This stuff is readily available on the internet when there's a horrible thing happening, including mass shootings, and people will want to see that. How do you explain that part?
So this is you talk about rubbernecking during an accident, and you talk about it almost in a funny way, but we're all kind of drawn, right? If you think about driving past a horrible accident.
I don't look.
You don't look, but there's a part of you that is orienting towards it, even if you don't want to look. And that actually is a very instinctual thing. So think about this. We are wired to not want to die, right? We have learned to be afraid of heights, to be afraid of dangerous driving situations, because it helps keep us alive. So seeing those things actually is a way for us to, I'm talking at a deep unconscious level, it's like to learn. By looking at that, it's a reminder that
I need to be a little more careful.
Yeah, but I'm saying this, y'all, in a very unconscious way. It's kind of wired into us. And so movies like this or live situations, we're drawn to it because it allows us to see something horrible that is not us.
We look at the train wreck, right? We all look at the train wreck.
So you don't look.
No, I want everybody just drive.
Right.
That's a really tough situation right there. I don't want to look at it.
But the fact that we're making millions and millions and millions of dollars by just killing people on screen, even if it's not real, just bothers me. I mean, I don't get it.
That's why I watch Hallmark Channel.
Good rom-com.
Very rom-coms.
Very good. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.